All right. Hello. Did a lovely little sheet today. This is about what we're doing. And, oh man, this makes it so tricky when it's there. Looks more like that. Mem and water. So Mem, the letter tonight on the Tree of Life, is the mother letter for water, element of water. There are 3 mother letters in the attributions, the attributions of the Hebrew alphabet on the Tree of Life, and 3 of the letters are considered mother letters, and they are Aleph. So the Fool is considered to be the mother letter for the element of air, the magical element of air, the primordial element of air. Of course, not directly about the air we breathe, but that is there and there too. And Mem tonight, associated with the Hanged Man tarot card, is the mother letter for water. And then Shin is the mother letter for fire. So I did a lovely sheet there.
Oh, lovely.
And so, of course, Aleph, air, the element of air, is associated with things like the air we breathe, but also with ideas, communication, the rational mind, rational thinking, or just thinking. It's associated with the Fool card as well, so not necessarily rational. Rational is a funny word because you can pretty well rationalize anything, regardless of how unethical or amoral it is. You can rationalize why it's right for you. So, and that's what, so the Fool can be considered rational on that level. And then the Mem is water, and water is about emotions and sort of, I like to call it glandular thinking, kind of the ebb and flow of life and life energies. It is associated with waters because and it acts like, because it flows, and that's part of the lesson tonight, the flow of emotion, the flow. However, here in Mem, it's much more than emotions. It's can be viewed as consciousness, period, consciousness. And and then fire, of course, is associated with fiery things. But in the human life, fiery things are associated with creativity, sports, this sort of vitality. And so, where's my book? Start talking about Mem. Oh. Thank you. Yeah, it's out there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Too big. I'll try this. Keep us both in the shot.
All right.
E.
Here you go.
Mem.
Mem.
And if Norman starts caterwauling, I'm just going to close the door.
You just say Mem.
Mem. The Path of Mem, the Hanged Man, the 12th key.
Yes.
In other words, the tarot card number 12, the major arcana. Color deep blue. Sound G sharp.
Oh, G.
G sharp.
One moment.
Okay.
Will I have that? I have that.
Means water. I think I have some. And one of the three maternal letters, this one's for water. G sharp?
G sharp.
It seems sort of alert, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Not as alert as last week's, but it does seem alert.
It's alert. Like, pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
The Spirit of the Mighty Waters is its title. So water, and Spirit of the Mighty Waters, and deep blue, and G sharp. Water everywhere.
Astral fluid.
Astral fluid.
I saw it referred to somewhere in here.
The 23rd path is called the Stable Intelligence. It is so called because it has the virtue of consistency among all numerations.
So
it's...
So I was reading somewhere
please.
That it was saying that there's supposition that means that because water is in all things, like it's life is sort of dependent on water.
Yes.
That there's water in all of the numerations, all of the cards.
All the numerations. This is the same water you see throughout the tarot.
Yes.
And it's the same water that you see throughout living things.
Yes.
In other words, sort of protoplasm, I guess.
I guess astral water. I don't know
what the stuff in living bodies.
Yes. Yes.
As that,
and it's consciousness.
And it's
water is consciousness.
So it's the same consciousness that moves through
the tarot.
Everything.
Yes.
Everything in the universe.
Yes.
And of course, we can think about all the other tarot cards and
it's okay. Carry on. Carry on.
That there's water in a lot of them.
Yes.
Put it that way.
Yes.
And I think the key word is things here, because there's actually tarot cards that represent pre-water business.
Mm-hmm.
Like above the abyss, the Fool is the element of air.
Right.
Air is seen as the first element, and I think that there's a biblical reference to that it's the word.
Yeah.
The word before creation is the word.
Yes.
And the idea that air, that's why the kind of this thing between, sort of digress a little bit, why like Gardner seemed to be the guy that said, okay, well, no, we're putting fire is swords is fire, and we're putting fire in the east, and which is seeing that creative energy as the beginning of things, the beginning. Mm-hmm. However, in the more traditional Hermetics and the Kabbalistic Hebrew stuff and the Hermetics that comes from that, it's the word, which we can see as a vibration.
Yes.
So, which goes back to what we've learned from like Tesla and stuff, and Einstein.
Tesla.
Thank you, Tesla. That the world, that it's about vibration.
Well, it goes back to what is this, the Kenantir, the vibration, what is it, the principles. So right. There's the principle of vibration, which is nothing rests, everything moves, and everything vibrates.
Everything vibrates. So that's the Fool card.
Realized before the discovery of atoms and whatever's quarks and everything, because everything vibrates.
And that's so that knowledge was, before they had the physics about it, they knew that it was about vibration. Yeah. And so but then you go from air to water. Mm-hmm. And even like in the Enochian and in the ritual, in like Rose Cross Ritual, we go, and on the image of the Enochian Tablet of Union,
yes,
you have, it goes, EXRP Hokoema Nanta Biatom. In other words, air, water, earth, fire. Not that necessarily fire is last, or it's like, well, like, thoughts of like who's first and what's last do not apply to this here. But the idea that fire is, in the material world, is what's kind of firing it up, generating the energy on the material plane. The generation of energy that manifests on the material plane is through fire. So I guess that's one explanation there. But so we go from this EXRP, from air to water, Hokoma. So that's where we are today.
Yes, that's where we are today.
So from the vibration to consciousness.
Yes.
So beyond emotion here at this level.
Right.
Beyond
and
human glands.
I did read as well with the spheres, Gabura being fire.
Yes, Mars, fire.
And dropping down into water, which is Hod. That's how the Hangman hangs.
Yes.
His feet are up in the fire and his head is down in the water.
We'll
in
attempt
consciousness.
With our once again back-ass imaging. So the letter Mem on the Tree of Life, but opposite this because it's reversed on the tube there. And the symbol for water is the upside down triangle, right? So I did my symbol. Anyway, did my symbol wrong earlier.
Oops.
I forgot. Oops, I did an earth symbol on my thing. I'll fix it. I'll fix it.
Fix it.
But there's that. There's the proper symbol, the triangle down. And so I'll bring out some tarot cards to look at.
Might even see the correct symbol on some of those cards.
Hey. Le pendu. I'm not sure what that translates at in Italian. Do you have your phone handy?
You want me to translate?
I think it's Italian. I think it's Italian or Spanish.
I don't know which deck it is.
The Swiss.
The Swiss. Well, it could be anything.
Pendu. Pendu. Not sure what that means. Maybe we'll find out. But he's not looking especially happy.
No.
The Hangman. This is the Russian deck. And I think what's noticeable here, there is like this, well, it could be a phoenix from the fire element by his feet.
It is.
There we are then.
And
Phoenix.
It's a Slavic tale.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
This firebird that comes and eats the apples off of the tree.
Oh, all right. Nice. And we have, well, I kind of wonder about that one. It's supposed to be the good tarot, but it's kind of an odd image for this Hangman here because it's, hope it's not Icarus plunging to his death, which is what it looks like there.
Sort of.
Don't try to fly too high with your wax wings. That's the method. Moral there.
Where is the good tarot? Let's see what it has to say.
Here's a little different image in the Hangman in the Initiatory Golden Dawn deck, is that he's not hanging from a tree so much. And there's our water symbol in the corner, a golden water symbol, triangle up. But he is... Well, that's goofy, because that's fire. That's the triangle up is fire. So I'm not sure what that's going on there by his head. Unless he's bringing the fire down is the idea.
Maybe.
But interesting that they got it with fire, which is, I would debate, maybe say no to that. But what's interesting is he's hanging in the tidal cave there, which is probably some old Nordic torture.
Not necessarily now. Come on.
Some old Nordic execution thing. You're gonna hang the guy upside down in the tidal pool and wait for the tide to come in. Here's our more traditional Rider-Waite. And interesting, a lot of the decks will do this, but the idea is the one leg is crossed over and the other legs make a triangle, even though the triangle is behind his back. And the idea here is it's the cross means matter or earth, and the triangle up means spirit or fire.
So that's what the triangle up on the other card
is, fire or spirit.
Yeah, would be spirit, right?
Yeah.
Which
I guess is another way of showing is a halo around his head. Mm-hmm. But the idea here is that it means kind of spirit descending into matter, or the idea of matter over spirit, which is about kind of the spirit going into matter, but also kind of the struggle, the spiritual struggle of kind of matter being superseding kind of spirit.
It says here, the key symbol here, the cross above the triangle. We're talking about the Golden Dawn.
Yeah, okay, good, go.
Which is also the emblem of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
All right.
Indicating that the principles of the Hanged Man represent the essence of that order's teaching. Moreover, the card represents a summation of teaching of the entire tarot. Oh, okay. So it's the cross above the triangle, like you were just talking about.
Okay, yeah. Here's another, the Thoth Crowley deck there is very distinct with his idea of the triangle under the cross. And he's got the serpent and all its symbolism, but kind of is of kind of the Kundalini is waiting, or it's coiled but not released in the base. Interesting that he's hanging from an upside down Ankh. A lot going on here.
It's a form of Tao. Yeah.
And we have a little kitty card. And our hang kitty is upside down.
Meaning in that card, it says that things are not always as bad as they seem.
Not as bad as they seem. Hang in there.
Hang in there, exactly.
Crystal Tarot. Similarly crossing the legs, but not as distinctly. A very esoteric Hindle.
Very faint image.
Faint image, though. And the Neptune, it's just giving it a Neptune association, which is fine.
Water.
Which is watery. Oh, that's cute. In the what's it called again? Hermetic Tarot. The black and white one. Again, we have an upside down Ankh. And maybe we can find in our reading a little more about that.
Oh, well,
Because I'm not sure. He's got a serpent in him too. He's got the fire spirit triangle again, very distinctly. And Neptune again, and there's our water triangle there.
Okay. It says it's not uncommon, as in the weight card. I don't know if you've got one of those.
Yeah, we've looked at that several times.
For the figure to be hanged from a Tau cross.
Yes.
In fact, the symbolic relationship between Tau and Mem is profound. Tau is at the very center of the cube of space and is crossed by the lines of the Fool, which is Aleph, Judgment, which is Shin, and the Hangman, which is Mem. But Mem, final, the completely closed form of this letter, used when it occurs at the end of a word, is also attributed to this exact center point. So it's used to represent the suspension of personal consciousness.
All right. Like meditation.
Yes. Deep meditation. Like the Hindi Samadhi, what is it?
Samadhi?
Samadhi, yes.
A state of samadhi.
A state of samadhi, where you're in deep trance-like meditation.
Now, I show somebody that's been taking a more, would be able to say, is that the theta state or the this or that
Could be,
state?
yeah.
The Hangman in the Egyptian deck, and they show a sacrifice.
Yes, and that's
which is part of the theme here.
Part of the theme of the Hangman.
The Hangman is making a sacrifice, and we also get into the Odin hanging on the tree too,
which is also sacrifice.
Which is also sacrifice. And our cute little spirit, we have the imp for the Hangman, the little devil, literally.
Yeah, little devil.
And really, he's just hanging by his tail there. He's not. He's entirely content with his posture. And this one is they've changed the name from Hangman to the Lone Man. And the Hermit in this deck is not the Lone Man. The Hermit in this deck is called the Seeker. They changed the names a few times. Tarot of the Old Path. But he's shown over water. He's on the tree. We'll assume that's a raven with an association with Odin, the Odin myth. And although he's in a Harlequin kind of fool outfit here, which ties together the fool and the Harlequin of justice as well, and the fool himself, herself, as being the individual who's hanging in the hangman. And there we are.
And there we are. Voila.
You want to find something more to say?
Find something more to say. Let's see. My book that's falling apart here. It's completely, like, the binding is broken. So, letter is Mem, meaning water. The card is the Hangman. The astrological attribution, of course, is water. Colors, deep blue. Mythical figure is Odin. Perfumes are in here, myrrh or onycha. Plant, all water plants and rule. And jewels are aquamarine. So,
Path of baptism.
yes.
In eternal water.
Yes.
Water means consciousness, first principle of the alchemists.
Mm-hmm.
The substance, sometimes called the thinking principle, is symbolized by water because it has some of the qualities of water, particularly in its wave movement, its tidal movement.
Mm-hmm.
In its lowest expression, it is the astral fluid on the path of the universe, and in Yesod, the groin chakra.
Yeah. It says here also water represents on this path clear reason, for water has no color when it is pure.
The astral fluid, the water, underlies everything that is. In other words, as it says in the Sefer Yetzirah, because it has the virtue of consistency among all numerations,
Right.
meaning not only all the numbers, but hence the numbers in the Tree of Life and the Tarot, but also all numerations, as in everything that exists in the material plane, and in beyond the material plane, in the astral plane as well. Not just materiality here.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting. Sometimes on some cards, I don't know if you noticed, but with the arms crossed and the head pointing down, it forms a triangle. And upside down triangle is the symbol for water.
Yes.
Alchemical symbol for water.
I'm just doing a quick run through.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any kind of a bit about some little an abbreviated Odin story in this?
Yes, I have one right
Could you
here.
please?
Let's see, the card can reflect, well, she's talking about the Witch's Tarot, which was her tarot that she designed. So the card reflects the legend of Odin hanging from the tree Yggdrasil. It was a form of sacrifice and resulted in his discovery of runes. Since this path leads to the sphere of writing and words from the sphere of sacrifice, this seems the most appropriate symbolism and is reflected in the design. Odin hangs from a tree, his arms are crossed behind his back so that his elbows and head form a triangle with point down. Odin is a fascinating character. He is best known as a leader of battle whose time was spent fighting, drinking, wenching, and carousing. Yet he gave up his eye to gain wisdom and spent 12 days sacrificed on a sacred tree. Like many gods, Odin has more than one facet. Meditating upon him and the myths connected to him can be useful in learning about this path. Meditate as well upon the price one pays for wisdom and in what coin. So this path gives us direction and shows us what to do. Okay. It's also associated with Mercury.
Okay, yes, because it goes from Mars to Mercury.
Yes. So those are important planetary and energies. The mercurial energies, and who is associated. It's also the sphere of teaching.
Very much about meditation. I want to reiterate that because, and you'll see on many of the images, like particularly the Rider Waite deck, that it's or RWS, that it is. I mean, the guy doesn't look hard done by. He's hanging from his foot.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have an expression of difficulty. It's the idea is that almost as though to think of it as in yoga, that it's a yogic kind of position.
Yes.
So the very root, there's a lot to meditate on. Because it's on so many levels of meaning here, like all the cards, but this one is, on one level, it's saying hang in there. On another level, on a very card reader level. It's showing somebody upside down. So it has immediate interpretation of looking at things in a different way.
Yeah.
And or the need to look at things in a different way. On another level, then it's meditation, but on another level too, it's this consciousness that flows through all existence, and hence it's associated with samadhi and enlightenment and just being in the flow, so to speak.
Yeah. So we're going to get in the flow?
We're going to get in the flow today, now.
Okay. Great.
Okay. We didn't mention, and my allergies are acting like crazy tonight, and Dallas is not really keen on lots of incense, so we'll just mention that it's myrrh. The scent is myrrh. Myrrh.
Are you going to move that so they can see the altar?
Yes, I'm going to move myself and move the camera. The camera phone. There, how's that? That'll do. Ta-da! And then I'll be in the picture there. Okay, good enough. I wanted to swap out the directions with you.
Yep. What do you want me to do?
You gotta do the water.
I gotta do air and water?
Yeah.
Okay. Sally.
All right. So that's our discussion and preliminaries, and we're gonna start our tempo and then meditate in it.
Aren't there two right there? Oh, you'll just have be right back when he gets a lighter.
Two out here.
Oh, they're in the bathroom. But so I had some candle going in there.
All right. The goddess with the black. Oh my God. God. And this evening we are having a temple tour for Mem. Mem in G sharp. Mem. Okay, here we go. So, with the rose cross, circle. Ate, Malkuth, Vegabora, Vegadula, Leolaam, Amen. Hekis, Hekis, Estebebeloi. And if anyone's actually following along right now, so the idea is, as I trace these lines around the room and make these like concentric, there's 1, 2, 3 different circles around the room to create a sphere. Participants and other people in the room, which is all you guys now too because of our cyber room, help me by imagining those lines of light.
Mm-hmm. They go not just in the room, but below the room.
Below and around.
And around.
Yeah. And if I have to let the cat out or do something, that they can stretch.
Yeah.
Amoeba. Okay. Yahashua. 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 Yahashua.
Yeheshua, 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 Yovasha, Yod, Hey, Shin, Vav, Hey. Ayin Ara, Yod, Nun, Resh, Yod, sign of Osiris slain. El, the sign of the morning of Isis. V, the sign of Typhoon Apophis. X, the sign of Osiris risen. L, V, X, Lux, light, light of the cross. Virgo, Isis, mighty mother. Scorpio, Apophis, destroyer. Sol, Osiris, slain yet risen. Isis, Apophis, Osiris. Io, Yexapeo Koema Nanta Biteoem, may the divine light descend. Eheye Yoriva Elohim Yoriva Elovadat Shaddai Chayron Ehadats, may the divine light descend. Amen. The quarters.
There's nothing else you're doing then? There was not. Okay.
No.
Alrighty then.
I'll come after this thing.
All right. Okay. Yexarpe. Hey. Oroi Zodpi Yehovah. Hail Uriel, Raphael, Archangel of air and the east. Sorry. I always mess that one up.
Oh no. Yeah, speaking of. Baiteoem. Hey. Oyepteia peroke. Elohim. Hail Michael, Archangel of fire in the south.
Oh. Hakoma Agala. Empear Salgeo. Hail Gabriel, Archangel of the west and water.
In the north. Enta agla. Immordialactega. Adonai. Hail Uriel, Archangel of earth in the north. Before me, Raphael, behind me, Gabriel, to the right hand, Michael, and to the left hand, Uriel. About us flames the pentagram, and in the column shines the six-rayed star.
Ate Malkuth Vegabora Vegadula Leola Amen, as above, so below. This evening we are traversing the 23rd path, the 12th tarot key, the Hebrew letter Mem, mother letter of water, spirit of the mighty waters. The 23rd path is called the stable intelligence, and it is so called because it has the virtue of consistency among all numerations. I'm going to endeavor to talk us through the middle pillar exercise and then go into meditation. Issues with my breathing, but there we are. Carry on. So you want to start by relaxing the body. And we try to establish, not try, it's easy to establish the 4 square breath, which means breathe in to your own relaxed count of 4, pause for the same relaxed count of 4, breathe out slowly to the same relaxed count of 4, and pause for that another count of 4. So if you're a beginning meditator, or if your mind wanders at some point, you can always occupy your mind and attention with that breath. 4 square breath. So we want to get that 4 square breath going and stay relaxed. Don't cross arms and legs. While we're doing that, imagine an orb of white light atop the head. Spiritual energy source light. Pre-polarity light energy. Its name is Eheye. White light atop the head. Imagine the light coming to form a lavender orb of light in the throat area. Its God name is Yehovah Elohim.
Yehovah Elohim.
Imagine the light energy descending into the body to form a bright yellow orb of light behind the solar plexus in the center of the chest body. It's the light of love. Its God name is Yehovah Ilovadath.
Yehovah Ilovadav. Yehovah Ilovadav.
Yehovah Ilovadath. Imagine the light descending to form a purple orb of light in the groin area. Light of life. His God name is Shaddai El Chai. Shaddai El Chai.
Shaddai El-Chai. Shaddai El-Chai.
Shaddai El Chai. Imagine the light descending to the feet where it forms a russet orb of light, a grounding light. Its God name is Adonai Haaretz.
Adonai Haaretz.
Adonai Haaretz. Bring the attention to the orb of light atop the head. On exhale, imagine light energy coming down through the left side of the body to the feet. And on the inhale, draw the light energy up through the right side of the body to the top of the head. Exhale light energy down the left, and inhale light energy up the right. And on an exhale, imagine the light energy coming down over the face, over the front of the body to the feet. And on the inhale, draw the light energy up along the calves, along the back of the body to the top of the head. Exhale light energy down over the front. Inhale light energy up along the back. And on an inhale, collect light energy at the orb at the feet. And on the exhale, release the light energy up through the body, up through the top of the head. To fountain down again and around and through. Collect the light energy at the feet. On the inhale. And release it up through the body on the exhale. Take yourself to a peaceful place in your mind's eye. Something that involves the water. Be in Mem, mother letter for water. Thank the guardians of the quarters, the intelligences, influences drawn to this ceremony. And I close with the lesser banishings of the ritual. Earth, water, fire, air, go if you must, stay if you will, this temple be closed.
Okay.
Okay.